Peace everybody, back with another video. This is Google's blacklisting Christian and conservatives website. Whistleblower reveals. This article is from May 1st, 2020. As you can see, here's the picture of the Google. And of course, there's going to be certain words I will and will not say because of their algorithms, and YouTube is on a power trip, taking down videos every chance they get because it's on autopilot right now because the employees are at home, and while their bots are doing all the removing videos, censoring people here and there, and it's just plain ridiculous what YouTube is doing. A former Google software engineer has accused his former employer of political bias and attempting to manipulate public opinion by controlling the news and information that people can access. So there was a former Google software engineer. He accused his former employer of political bias and attempting to manipulate public opinion. So this is why half the stuff you want to find on Google, you can't find nothing because it'll direct you somewhere else, or it'll say web page not found or unavailable, this and that. So, they're just, this whole Google thing has been altered, literally, and this is, like I said, this is why you can't find half the stuff that you want to find, and it's all because of what happened. Whistleblower Zachary Voorhees told Project Veritas in an interview that can be watched below that the tech giant is not an object source of information. They are a highly biased political machine, he said. Yeah, so Google is being biased right now. It's a political machine. That's all it is. And Zachary Voorhees told Project Veritas in an interview that can be watched below that the tech giant is not an object source of information. So and he's right. It's not. But they are a highly biased political machine, and this is what he is saying, what Zachary is saying. Now, the other night, yes, I was over at Young Pharaoh's YouTube channel. Shout out to him, by the way. He had Zachary Voorhees on his live stream, and I watched the entire live stream. And he blew the lid off of Google what happened, of how they altered the AI and everything else. And of course, with Young Pharaoh, he even admitted it, that he don't like politics at all. But when it comes to all this fake stuff, yeah, he's gonna wake people up in his community of YouTube and get people to see the real truth of what is really going on. Voorhees, who was a Google employee for 8 years, delivered hundreds of pages of documents to the Department of Justice Antitrust Division, purporting to be evidence of how Google manipulates its algorithms to keep conservative media outlets off the top search results. Yeah, so Voorhees, who was a Google employee for 8 years, he delivered pages of documents to the Department of Justice, and of course, for portraying to be evidence of how Google manipulates its algorithms to keep the conservative media outlets off the top search results. So whatever's supposed to be on top, you ain't going to see it. You'll find something else on top. And then you got to go scroll down Google to get to what you need. And it's just a shame that Google is, excuse me, it's just a shame that Google is doing this to people. They're being biased. They don't want us to find certain things that we need to look for. and that they're putting their agenda at the top while whatever you're looking for is way down at the bottom or in the middle somewhere. Christian Today is among the websites that appear on a news blacklist site for Google Now that has been released online by Project Veritas. And yeah, so Christian Today is one of the websites that appeared on a news blacklist site, so for Google Now. And I mean, what did the Christians ever do to anybody? We Christians haven't done nothing wrong, but now they're blacklisting the Christian Today. I mean, this is why you can never find half the stuff that you want. Other websites on the list include the Christian Post, Patriots, Life News, the Catholic News Agency, Glenn Beck, and the Daily Caller. So these are all the other websites that are not found that you want to look for. And they are being blacklisted, literally. The Christian Post, Patriots, Life News, the Catholic News Agency, Glenn Beck, and the Daily Caller, because they're being biased. Not the websites, but Google itself. They're being biased. So this way you can go with their agenda instead of what you are looking for. This particular blacklist is showing which news sites aren't going to show up underneath the search bar when people are searching on their Android phone, he explained. Yes, so he did explain that this particular blacklist is showing which news sites aren't going to show up underneath the search bar. So say, like, for example, if you're putting in let's say maybe something about Good Morning America or whatever, you ain't going to get that at the top. You're going to get it somewhere, either the second, third, or fourth website down, or if not lower. And because while the first one, it'll be the Google one, what they want you to watch or have on your first search. And they are telling people that they don't have any blacklist. They don't have any political ideology. They don't have any political bias. But it's really clear that they do. And yes, so this is why the fake news is all over the place on Google. And how many times they have been exposed so many times that the fake news has just kept putting out fake news, fake news, fake news. I mean, and of course they're not going to, and like what Zach is saying, and they are telling people that they don't have any blacklist. Okay, yeah, keep telling that lie. They're blacklisting everybody, up and down, all around, and in between, and who knows where else. And I mean, seriously, come on. If Google wants to have political bias, and if they want to say they have political bias, that is their right as a company. Yeah, so if Google wants to have political bias, in other words, they're not telling the truth, because they're supposed to be unbiased, but being biased, they're lying. And he also says that if they want to say they have political bias, that is their right as a company, but that doesn't mean you got to go put it on Google to lie to everybody. But for them to go under oath and say that these blacklists don't exist, while employees like me are able to just search through the internal search engine of the company and see that they do, it is hypocritical at the least and is perjury at the worst. Yeah, so what they're doing is perjury. They're not giving you the truth about nothing. And he also says, but for them to go under oath and say that those blacklists don't exist, while employees like me are able to just search through the internal search engine of the company. Well, apparently they got caught in their lies. They're saying, oh, the blacklist don't exist when it does, because this is what they're doing. They're keeping everybody censored that you want to look for. And they said, oh, no, we're going to give you the first thing at the top of our agenda. And that's exactly what they're doing. If people don't fall in line with their editorial agenda, then their news articles get deboosted and deranked. Yes, so if people don't fall in line with their agenda, then their articles do get deboosted and deranked. In other words, it won't exist. It'll just be, no, we're going to blacklist it. Well, there they go. And if people do fall in line with their editorial agenda, then it gets boosted to the top. So if people have like stories that they know that'll fit their agenda, then it gets boosted to the top. And for the people who don't get boosted, they're the ones that are getting kicked to the curb and say, yep, nope, you're out of here. So this is why Google is being biased towards people. Voorhees said that the documents were available to every single employee within the company that was full-time. Yeah, so the documents were available to all the employees, all single employees within the company that was full-time. So people who worked full-time there, they were allowed to have access to the documents, while us people, we're not allowed to have access to it, because you got to keep digging and digging and digging and digging to find whatever the heck you're looking for. And it's like, geez, what the heck? He said he was so afraid for his life after releasing the documents that he put a Deadman switch, allegedly, on the files in case he was assassinated, allegedly. Yeah, this is what he said. He said he was afraid for his life after releasing the documents, that he put a Deadman switch, allegedly, on the files in case he was assassinated, allegedly. So he's scared for his life because, you know, he did the right thing by releasing the documents to what Google has been doing to people for who knows how long. However, he said he wanted to go public after concluding that something dark and nefarious was happening inside Google that could have a far-reaching impact on U.S. politics. Yeah, he said he wanted to go public after concluding that something dark and nefarious was happening inside of Google, but we don't know what happened in there. But this is Zach's story of what he's saying, and Zach really wanted to go public with it, but he was scared too because he was afraid of what they were going to do to him. And now recently, of course, I did a video about a person who got 18 months in prison, and you can scroll down a little on my channel, that he got 18 months in prison for trying to assassinate Donald Trump. And of course, you know, that didn't work out too well because the police caught him and everything. So, and now he got 18 months in prison for that one. I saw that they were making really quick moves, that they were intending to sculpt the information landscape so that they could create their own version of what was objectively true, he said. Yeah, so he saw that they were making really quick moves. In other words, oh, yeah, we gotta hurry up and get this out of here, blah, 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 before the people find it and that. Yeah, they quick moves, all right. That they were intending to sculpt the information landscape so that they could create their own version. So in other words, Google's is also lying as well, because they want their agenda to come up. That's all they want, is their agenda. Nobody else's. They don't care what the people have to say. So whatever you get at the top of the page of Google, that's what you get. You're not getting anything else unless you scroll down to what you're looking for. I realized that they were going to not only tamper with the elections, but use that tampering with the elections to essentially overthrow the United States. Now remember what happened with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton election. Now Hillary Clinton thought she can get away with winning being a president, but apparently that didn't work. So she got so mad at Donald Trump because he is the president of the United States. She kind of figured, well, I'm going to think of something else. Yeah, so I think after Nancy Pelosi got into the Senate or House or whatever it is, she kind of figured, well, we're going to impeach Trump. Well, apparently that didn't work either. That didn't work out either. This is why Donald Trump keeps calling out fake news, because he knows they're lying, and he doesn't want nothing to do with the fake news. So this is why when you see the new White House briefings and that about the virus that don't exist, yeah, blame the media, blame the mainstream media for changing the narratives to fit their agenda. And now Nancy Pelosi is going to try to impeach him again, and of course that's not going to work. She's going to fail miserably, like she did the first time. They couldn't find nothing on Donald Trump. They did every trick in the book they could think of and couldn't find nothing. General Flynn went to prison for no reason at all, and he was a good man for Donald Trump. But when you got Robert Mueller and all these other shadow governments, yeah, they're the ones that did all this mess. They're the ones that, oh, Donald Trump is a bad president. He doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, yeah, okay, keep telling that lie. They kept singing that song for a long time, and they're still singing this song now. And also they threw Dr. Fauci in. Oh yeah, let's not forget the old fake Dr. Fauci, so they kind of figured, well, Nancy Pelosi, thinking, well, I'm going to try to impeach Donald Trump again for failing to save the country with this virus. Apparently that's not going to work either, because she's going to lose on that one too, on the second impeachment try. And believe me, it's not going to work. It failed once, it's going to fail again. Believe me on that one. Because, Nancy Pelosi doesn't play fair. She plays dirty, like the rest of the shadow governments. And, but Nancy Pelosi's sitting at home with a $24,000 refrigerator full of ice cream. Jeez. And of course, they took their 3-week leave pay with them, so you know where that's going. But all these millionaires, the politicians, except for Donald Trump, Nancy Pelosi and her cronies are not going to be so lucky if they get thrown in prison for a very long time, like the Guantanamo Bay prison. Yeah, I think that would be a good place for them. And Hillary Clinton. Now, I don't like her at all, because she is evil as well. I saw in an article that she is saying, oh, she's waiting in the wings if Joe Biden fails the election. Yeah, first of all, nobody likes Hillary Clinton. She's a devil. She does not belong in the White House. There has never been a woman in the White House at all for president. Maybe the last time there was one was like, what, around 1800, somewhere around there? That was the last one, but after that, it's always been men who have been in the White House. And the ladies are always the first ladies. That's how it is. It is what it is, but let's see how far they'll get out of it this time, because Nancy Pelosi wants mail-in ballots so they could cheat to get Joe Biden in there, which that's not going to work. Google has repeatedly denied bias. Earlier this year, it told a Senate Judiciary subcommittee that it was neutral. Yeah, okay. Google has repeatedly denied bias. Then how did these elections get rigged then? Huh? How did they get rigged? Even Donald Trump came out and said the elections are rigged because he knows the truth. And he said, oh, this election is rigged, blah, blah, blah. Well, look where it got. Whoever was Hillary didn't get her in the White House now, did it? Nope. In a written statement to the subcommittee chaired by Senator Ted Cruz, Google admitted that sometimes our content moderation systems do make mistakes, but added that its policy was to ensure its products serve users of all viewpoints and remain politically neutral. Alright, so Google has admitted that sometimes that their content moderation seems to make mistakes. How about a lot of mistakes instead? That's what they should have came out instead of sometimes. They should have came out and admitted all the mistakes they have done. You can't blame just one or two things. You gotta do the whole. Google should admit the whole thing was being ridiculous. That their content moderation system do make mistakes. Oh yeah, it made mistakes, all right. It rigged the election, literally. And they think that's a mistake? Oh no, that was done on purpose. And then it goes on, it says, but added that its policy was to ensure its products serve users of all viewpoints and remain politically neutral. Nothing is ever neutral on Google. You're getting censored. You can't find half the stuff that you're looking for, that you want to look for. In an open letter to Attorney General William Barr, conservative leaders called on the Department of Justice to investigate Google, Facebook, and YouTube over alleged censorship. Wow. Yep, Google, Facebook, YouTube, yeah. This was an open letter to Attorney General William Barr. He's a conservative leaders called on the Department of Justice to investigate Google, Facebook, and YouTube. So you know where Facebook is going to be going to. Into an investigation over censorship. Why do you think Dr. Buttar and Dr. Shiva and other doctors from MIT got their own platforms? Their digital freedom platforms, because Google, Facebook, and YouTube are censoring them. They don't want them to come out with the truth, so they kind of figure, well, we're going to remove you. Boom, boom. And this is why Dr. Buttar, Dr. Shiva, London Real, and Dr. Judy Mikovits, they're all being censored because they know the truth. And they can't even speak on the platforms they want to speak on. So this is why they went and got their own freedom platform or digital freedom platform so they could speak on there, and there's no censorship over there. They wrote, at this point, it is undeniable that Facebook, Twitter, and Google, YouTube all have a significant liberal agenda wired into their platforms. Oh, so now they're writing and saying, at this point, it is undeniable. Alright, so they don't deny censorship. Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube. So they don't deny it. They know it's censored. The people are being censored because they want the truth to come out. And since they're playing around censoring people, saying, "Oh, you can't say this on there. You can't say that on there." Yeah, I think, you know what, all of them do need to be investigated. And you know what, and once all the lies are uncovered, guess what, it'll be time for them to go to prison as well, because they don't need to be running these big tech companies to censor people, because you know what, that's taking our freedom of speech away. And that's our First Amendment, is freedom of speech. And they're taking that away. Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube. They're taking it away from us. Alright. I mean, seriously, nobody should be censored at all. Nobody should be censored. People have a right to express their feelings, their opinions about what they know. But instead, when it comes to Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube, oh, we're censoring you. Ah, we're going to take your video down. We're going to take your Facebook page down. And this is what's happening right now. That our freedom of speech is being stripped away a little at a time. And they don't even care. If you say something that you know is truthful, they're going to say, oh, that goes against our guidelines. And it's coming down real quick. They don't care anymore. This is their agenda, what they're doing to us. This is what they want. They don't care what we want. They only care what they want to fit their agenda. Leave your comments below. I am out.